we're back working on the Z. Today's Thursday, and I have until tomorrow evening to get this thing ready for Drift Evergreen on Saturday. Last minute install of a hydro. I have everything except for the cage assembly to mount the master cylinder and the actual handle to. That should be here tomorrow, so I'm going to get everything done that I can today, and then tomorrow hopefully get it finished so we're ready for Saturday. So everything is Gktech, calipers, and the pads are just from AutoZone. I already have the wheels off the car, and I'm gonna go ahead and start unbolting everything that needs to come off. I watched the Gktech install video like 4 times now, so it should hopefully be easy. But I'm gonna try to get the dual caliper brackets on with the new calipers. All the lines ran, and then tomorrow just put the cage assembly in with the master cylinder and handle, bleed the system, and then we should be hopefully good for Saturday. So I'm gonna get into it. Alright, so this side's pretty much all together. Last thing I need to do would be to just mount this caliper here, but I'm gonna paint these before I put them on so they don't rust. So I'm gonna go ahead and get the other side all done before I go and put the calipers on. Passenger side is also done. So tomorrow I'm gonna paint the calipers. We'll get those on and then do everything inside the car, run the lines. But I'm gonna call it a day. I've had enough. I need to shower and still need to clean up. So tomorrow I'll finish and hopefully everything goes okay. So today is Sunday, the day after the drift event. Handbrake piece that I needed never did come on Friday, so I had to go yesterday without. And here's some clips from yesterday. So I didn't do exactly as good as I wanted to, but this was also my first drift event. I had a couple issues throughout the day with the clutch where the pedal was getting stuck to the floor. So I was clutch kicking and the pedal was like a quarter of the way off the floor, and I was more focused on getting the pedal unstuck than doing everything else I needed to do. So that messed up maybe about 4 runs. And then midway through the day, we had a downpour. So then the track conditions were completely different. So it was a learning experience. So hopefully next time we go back up, we can get things dialed in a little bit better. So I'm going to get the rest of the handbrake assembly installed now, because the part came on Saturday while I was up there drifting. So we can get the lines ran and get those to the caliper, and then get the actual handbrake assembly installed in the console, and hopefully we'll be good to go then. So Gktech sells 2 different setups for the handbrake on the 350Z. One being where everything is mounted on the side here of the trans tunnel, and you can see the master cylinder and everything. And the other one being where everything is mounted inside here behind the heater controls, and you drill a hole right here, and the only thing that comes out is the handle. That's the option I got. It's just cleaner, a little bit more work involved, but I'm gonna take this out and the center console and get everything mounted up, and then we can run the lines from here to the back and hook them up to the calipers. So one downside to running the console mounted handbrake is that this can't stay in the factory location anymore. So this is gonna have to get moved. I've seen people put it way in the back of the dash, and also that metal bracket right there is gonna have to get cut so that the master cylinder can fit. I just did a quick test fit after cutting that out. You can see how much room I have inside the dash yet, and I still need to fit the heater control module. So I'm gonna go ahead and try to figure that out. All right, so I got the heater control tucked all the way in the back as far as I can get it. Underneath this black plastic thing, there should still be enough here for me to plug it in. And then there is enough room to have that mounted in, and the master cylinder sits pretty much right on top of it, so that should work. And then I also went ahead and adjusted the handle so that it was in a good position. I didn't want it too close to this. I also didn't want it too close to the shift knob that I'm hitting it when I'm shifting into first or third. So I have that pretty much where I want it. So I'm gonna go ahead, pull this out of the car, bench bleed this, and then we could mount it in for good and hook up the line and run that to the back. And then the hard part is cutting the hole in the center console piece here so that just the handle sticks out and lines up. All right, so really quick on the line that runs from the master back to the T here. I took a hole saw and drilled a hole. Have this running to the T that's bolted here in the center. I put 2 spacers in there to hold it up so I can get the brake lines tight. I popped off this plastic piece here so I could see through there where I was routing the line. Had it come out through this hole here underneath the factory e-brake assembly, and then you have just enough there under the dash to hook it up to the master. So now comes the scary part of drilling a hole in here so that I could slip that down the handle and it all kind of lines up. I got a mark right there where I think I'm going to start. Maybe use like a 1-inch hole saw bit and drill through that, and then from there I can cut it a little bit with a Dremel and clean it up. So here goes nothing. So not too bad for a first cut. I think I need to make the hole a little bit bigger and oblong it more of an oval going this way. But I obviously can't get the panel on all the way. So I'm gonna go ahead, probably get the Dremel and start just trimming this out here, and hopefully we can get the fit. So we have the dual calipers on, and the lines for those are ran. This side I just went into this factory grommet up to the T, and then this side drilled a hole, which I still need to put a grommet on. So both sides are done, calipers and lines. So technically I can bleed the system. Everything is installed that needs to be. The bezel still needs a little bit of work. That's where we're at with that. Not exactly what I was hoping for. It's still hitting a little bit, so I need to do some trimming on that and just clean it up and make it look a little bit better. But the trunk can go back together, the wheels can go back on. I'll finish trimming up the bezel, and then tomorrow we could probably bleed everything and try it out. So it's been a few days since I finished up the handbrake, and obviously the car is back together. The rear calipers should be bled one more time. The wheels do lock up, but you have to really yank on the handbrake for that to happen. But I'll show you the bezel and how that turned out after I cleaned it up a little bit. So here's how the bezel looks after trimming it a little bit more. You can see behind the handle, I made a little spot where there's some room for the handle to return. It is up against the switch here, but otherwise that should be okay. So like I said, the calipers should be bled again, and then we should have no problem locking up the rear wheels. But that's it for this one. Gktech handbrake and the 350. Also, we got the new Hydro shift knob here from Raysang. Be sure to check us out. So Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Hopefully we're working on the 240 again.